I give the floor to the representative of Algeria.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the honor to deliver this statement on behalf of the A3+, namely Guyana, Mozambique, Sierra Leone, and my own country, Algeria. We extend our appreciation to the Secretary General for his comprehensive briefing, through which we are hearing once again on the alarming situation in the Sudan. We wish also to welcome the presence of the permanent representative of the Sudan to this meeting. Almost a year has passed since the beginning of the crisis in Sudan, and the Sudanese people has yet to see any sign of appeasement despite all the efforts deployed to bring the parties to dialogue. Civilians continue to pay the heavy toll of armed confrontation and all forms of violations, while international and regional peace efforts are yet to bear fruit. Mr. President, on the humanitarian situation, as we speak, we have before us the largest displacement crisis in the world, with the high risk of acute food insecurity threatening millions of Sudanese, particularly in Darfur. In front of this deteriorating situation, we want to seize this occasion to make an urgent call upon all the Sudanese actors to declare an immediate ceasefire to ease the suffering of the innocent Sudanese men, women, and children. With the Secretary General, we call upon the Sudanese parties to put aside their differences and to consider the opportunity of the holy month of Ramadan, a month of peace, to embark on a path of appeasement and restraint for a durable peace in Sudan. There is also a need to explore all ways and means to grant unhindered access to enable the flow of international humanitarian assistance so that it could reach all the affected Sudanese population through close cooperation between the Sudanese government and the deployed humanitarian agencies. In this regard, we welcome the announcement of the decision of the Sudanese authorities to facilitate humanitarian access through several crossing border points, such as Chad-Tina Darfur, including the facilitation of humanitarian flights accessing airport in Al-Fasher, Kadugli, and Al-Ubaid. We encourage further engagement between OCHA and the Sudanese authorities. We also welcome the announcement of a new round of talks under the Jeddah process, and therefore we invite the Sudanese parties to engage in good faith during these talks. Here, we wish to commend the facilitators and of the process, namely the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the United States, and IGAD, who represent also the African Union, for their continued effort. The holding of an international humanitarian conference in Paris next April is also a commendable initiative, expected to provide an opportunity to secure clear commitments from the Sudanese actors and the international community to improve the humanitarian situation on the ground. Mr. President, As for the diplomatic efforts to end this tragic crisis, we have witnessed multiple initiatives and processes since its beginning, but we did not see enough coordination between the different diplomatic tracks. It is important at this stage to place the coordination of regional and international efforts as a priority, while taking stock of all the existing frameworks to adopt a different approach in our common endeavor to end this crisis. This approach has to be based on inclusiveness, Sudanese ownership, and adequate preparation. We believe in this vein that discussion on humanitarian aspects need to go hand in hand with political efforts to give shape to a comprehensive solution. It is equally important that we put forward the role of regional organizations, particularly the AU, in resolving the Sudanese crisis. We welcome in this regard the establishment of an AU high-level panel on Sudan, as we believe that it will bring clear added value and support to the peace process. Our common efforts are needed to avoid further consequences on the Sudanese crisis on the region, where they are already heavily felt. The neighboring country, South Sudan in particular, is already witnessing the dire effects of humanitarian challenges, with more than 500,000 of refugees and returnees having crossed the border as of February 2024, fleeing the conflict in Sudan. While we are exchanging views on how we can contribute to the resolution of the crisis in the Sudan, we are troubled by report of the role of external actors fueling the crisis, instead of helping to advance peace efforts. Colleague, let us be clear. External interference have to be publicly and firmly condemned. In conclusion, Mr. President, we call upon the Sudanese brothers and sisters to put the interest and the unity of their nation above all other consideration. We encourage them to translate the commitment they expressed in several occasions into concrete action on the ground. Peace must prevail in the Sudan. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Algeria for the statement.